So who was watching on Tuesday the launch of Heavy Falcon? Yeah? Well, I guess more people. So that's relevant because that was strategic. Actually, they were able to land 2 boosters and vertical landing. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the strategic and operational in the context of the goals. And the first thing that I would like to start with is actually the perception. How do we perceive operational? How do we perceive strategic? So when I say operational, what image you have in mind? So it's something smaller, probably something that we repeat every day, a kind of production line probably. So it's, again, it's a perception that we do intuitively. When someone tells, okay, we do it, we have strategic and we have operational. Operationals at this, something small. And in the contrast, strategic, intuitively, it's something big. So it's some big project, long-term time horizon, a lot of important people involved, something that changes our lives dramatically. So that's strategic. So let's go into the details a little bit. From the viewpoint of timing, operational is normally something real time, something that we do daily, weekly, probably monthly, but not something that we plan for decades or for years. Yeah? So it's relevantly, it's a short-term planning. And in the contrast, strategic is something that we normally plan for years, plan for decades, like flying to Mars. Probably it will be soon, but it's not tomorrow. So that's strategic. And that's another perception of the difference between operational and strategic. What other perspectives can we take? We can look at the people. So operational, when I say operational, do you imagine a top manager? No. Do you imagine a kind of line level, programmer, line level employee who doing normal things and flying in touristic class, I guess? Yeah, so that's the perception, again. It's nothing wrong about it. And when I say strategic, top manager, CEO, whatever, someone who flies business class, someone who makes what is called decision making, No one knows when it happens, but people tend to call it. So that's the differences in the perception. And obviously that's all true. We all have the perception of this. And now I think I have warmed up to you a little bit and you're ready for the truth about the truly important difference between the strategic and operational. So let's think, you in your business, you have to have both strategic and operational. And operational is about doing things better. So you have one way to do things, and you find a kind of incremental improvement. So you do what we call best practices. So you learn something from your past, and you're trying to improve a little bit, doing more or less in the same way like you did it before. In the contrast, strategic is doing the thing, but in a different way. So instead of trying to do what you did before, you're achieving the same results, but applying some different methods, applying some different practices. So it might look the same, but actually that's one of the most important differences. And another important thing about this strategic and operational is that strategic goal actually gives a context for operational goals. So basically we have operational goals for a reason, and the reason is to achieve strategic goal, like Elon Musk is trying to do, trying to fly to Mars, strategic goal. And what is the context for the strategic goal then? So if strategic goal is a context for operational goals, then what is the context for strategic goal? It's your vision. It's what you want to achieve in a very, very long term. Like in case of Elon Musk, SpaceX is to colonize solar system. So the main conclusion is that we need to be able to detect, we need to have a radar for detecting strategic and operational for one simple reason, because we need to have both of them. So if you have just strategic goals, you're doing wrong. If you have just operational goals, you're doing wrong. So we need to have both of them. Imagine a situation, you have just operational goals. So you have a horse and you have some fancy wagon, but you don't have cars because you was just improving on best practices. This is a very nice wagon, but you're not moving too fast. That's if we focus only on operational goals. Yeah? And what if we had only strategic goals? Yeah? We would be very good at dreaming, like we'll fly to other planets, Star Trek, all these things. But again, it will remain just some kind of dream without any realization. And that's also the problem. So obviously, the logical conclusion is that we need to have both. So if you want to remember one picture from my presentation, remember this one. So probably the bottle, probably it's strategic. And the tool that you use to open the bottle probably is the set of your operational goals. So that's an image that I think describes how you need to use goals. And talking about the usage, we need to follow a certain recipe. And, well, it's like cooking. So it depends on your organization. And a good case is that you need to mix like 20% of strategic and 80% of operational. Then you have a good balance of dreaming and doing. So that's the context, what is important. So operational goals actually drive us to the strategic goal. And strategic goal gives a context for operational goals. And in its case, strategic goals finally leads us to our vision or mission, whatever you call it. So basically, vertical landing, like in the case of SpaceX, is a strategic goal, which was supported by 2 operational goals, like keeping correct angle and whatever I have here. So better calculation of vertical deviation. Yeah? So smaller goals, interactive, but they achieve it. So my call for you for this, after this presentation, is to create a kind of strategy map for you, have operational goals, have strategic goals, align them together, and give it a try for your organization. It will help. Thank you very much.